is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 18 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new Acura Integra. Only $239 a month during our 18th anniversary sale.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Link, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Link. Be the maestro of your own home.
Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 18 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new Acura RDX. Only $399 a month during our 18th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
I don't want to hear it. I don't feel tardy, okay? I don't want to hear it. Good morning. How you feeling? Are you feeling like a freak? Is that the thing right now? Are you feeling like a freak? Because Giannis is coming. He's arriving. Are you ready? Are you ready for the Greek freak? I love it. Yeah, the one question I have for everyone out there. This is the one question I have for you, for everybody out there, especially for his employer. How does Chris Haynes get this wrong? Like yesterday, I saw the video. This guy is like part of family. He's part of Giannis's family. Like there's a family connection there. One part of his family is married to another part of his family, like, and everybody was like, well, no, Chris Haynes knows everything. And he's like, well, Miami really wasn't his first option, and all, and and then the local reporters here are losing their freaking minds. What are you talking about? I reported that's. I think it was Barry and Ethan and all. I forgot what group of people were reporting that that Miami was his first option, and so Chris Haynes says no, and then starts talking about it and describing. I'm like, okay, it's over. That's it. He's going to Boston. Like most of us thought yesterday, he's going to Boston, and then he ends up here. Last night, I'm about to go to sleep. It's around midnight, like 12:05 or something like that, and that's when the story broke. Right around there, right around midnight, is when the story broke. Because I know, I was tweeting about it right there and then when it broke. So it was right around midnight, and just like tripping out on the whole thing. I'm like, well, wait a minute, dude, you're related. You've got like ties here. Everybody said, oh no, you got to listen to Chris Haynes because he's got an in on the Giannis front and all that kind of stuff. And how do you, like, any other reporter, you, me, we could, if we were, reporting on this story, we could get it wrong. Okay. He's not supposed to get it wrong. That's the one I don't understand. From now on, Chris Haynes is like persona non grata. This fucking shows the Continental, and he's been booted out of it. That's what's going on here. I don't want to know anything ever again about Chris fucking Haynes. That guy's a fucking clown. That's what I say. How do you have family and you end up telling everybody? You even went to the extreme yesterday in an interview where you said, no, Miami really wasn't his first option. And I'm like, wow, that goes against everything that goes. And I'm like, what the hell? I put it, I have a tweet out there like, oh no, it's over. Look at this video. I mean, he's elaborating on it. There's another layer, I think is how I put it, to he's gone. He's gone. He's history. At midnight, this shit breaks. And first thing I think of is Chris Haynes. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you, dude? Like, you're not like a regular reporter. You've got family involved here. Like, what are you? Like, are you the person they hate in the family or something? Like, what happened here? It's like Diana Rossini getting, insight. Well, different kind of an insight, but insight from Vrabel. The other kind of insight. She can't get it wrong, right? Because she's getting it right from the horses growing. How does Chris Haynes get this wrong? That's what I want to know. How do you get this wrong? I don't care about any other reporter in the world getting this right or wrong. Well, good if you got it right, by the way. Those that got it right, good. But those that got it, the one guy that could not get it wrong is the guy that's related, has family ties to Giannis Antetokounmpo. They stuck the big gyro up his ass, that's for sure. And he's dead here on this show. He's been kicked out of the Continental. He's done. Okay, persona non grata. I don't even want to hear If I'm on TV cruising around channels or whatever, and I see Chris Haynes' face, boom, I'm changing right away. I'll never, ever take that guy's word for anything ever again. Because if you can't get it right with your family, I can't trust you with anything else, bro. You know, that was my first thing on the whole thing. Now, those of you that follow the show, you know my thoughts already on all of this. Okay? If you're, you don't really follow the show and you come in and out every once in a while, or you just check in a segment or an interview or something off the platform or something like that, you don't really follow and know me well. But it's all right. First of all, do want to mention it is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. It is day number 19,154 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. Day number 8,937 since the Canes were national champions. And day number 4,750 since the Miami Heat were national champions. And this is a move that the Miami Heat pretty much at this point, at this juncture, had no choice. They desperately had to try to pull this move off. This is a move that is made because philosophically, this is how Pat Riley feels. Okay? Not how I feel. How I feel is I would have traded Jimmy Butler after the Denver series, after that championship. I would have gotten like 3, 4. No, wait a minute. If you're getting 3 for Giannis, yeah, I would have gotten 3 or 4 easily first rounders from somebody for Jimmy Butler a few years ago. Then 2 years ago, I would have traded Tyler Hero. The 1 year he was healthy, I would have traded him at the deadline. Would have gotten myself a first round pick there. I would have already been tanking the last couple of years, so I may have already gotten a star or 2. And at the same time, I would have had a world of picks. That's what I wanted to do. Okay? So the Heat, and those of you out there that are really happy-go-lucky about this move, you were happy-go-lucky about Kyle Lowry or happy-go-lucky about extending Butler, I was against all of that. Okay? I'm against this one too, but I understand. They have no choice. Why? They didn't listen to me and trade Butler at the right time. They didn't trade. They didn't listen to me by not making the move for Kyle Lowry. They didn't listen to me to trade Tyler Hero. So where I'm at right now, I'm so frustrated with the Miami Heat. It's not even funny. But because they're such fuck ups, let's just be quite honest about the Miami Heat. They are absolute fuck ups. Okay, Nikola Jovic's contract, Deadman. I was against Whiteside. I was against Johnson & Johnson. I was against re-signing all those clowns. I don't know why they did that. I've been against a lot of the shit that they've been doing for years now. Okay, and I said that they would not. When you got Butler, he would not bring another star. He never brought another star. So I was right about that. They overachieved. They did do well because they got to the 2 finals. They got every break in the book, but whatever. And that's where I was. I was reality. I knew that those 2 finals trips were fraudulent. It was, you got breaks, things happened, you got the stars aligned, and you got there, and I knew it was, bullshit. Unload them now. They didn't. They paid the price. So you haven't done anything that I wanted to do over the past few years, which would have set the team up to be way better than they are now. That's facts. Now that you have been a complete screw up of an organization for years now and making it harder and harder on Spo, you had no choice. You have to do this because philosophically, Pat Riley will not tear it down. Pat Riley will not load it up with picks. Pat Riley will not do what OKC does. They will not do what San Antonio does. They will not do what Detroit does. They will not do what Houston's doing. They will not do what the NBA does. So They were stuck in a rock and a hard place, and they had their only assets left. Their 3 first-rounders, and then some of the young guys, which, out of the young guys they got rid of, the guy that I really don't want to lose because I think he may have something in him is Khalil Ware, because the ability is there, but it is what it is. You moved it because this is who you are. Okay? This is who you are as an organization. I disagree philosophically with everything that Pat Riley does nowadays. Everything. I wanted to get rid of Powell and Wiggins at the trading deadline. You didn't do that for more picks. All the things that I wanted to do, and this, none of it is hindsight. For those of you that don't tune in daily, you miss out on all of this was said back then. And you guys called me an asshole. You guys called me every word in the book, but I'm used to it. It's all right. I'm used to being the bad guy because I'm used to being brutally honest. And I wanted to trade Butler right there after the Nuggets loss in the finals. And you killed me for that. It is what it is, man. So where I'm at now, I'm in a really frustrated spot with the Miami Heat, because if they would have done all the stuff that I have categorically talked about over and over again before it ever happened, all of it, and it's all there. Go look at all the videos. Go look at the dates. Go back and look at them. They're all there, bro. It's all there. So I understand where they're at now. Would I have been in this position? Hell no. And they gave up way too much. Now, let's start off talking about the acquisition of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Remember, this is a player that since the 2019-2020 season, are you all following me on this? There's a lot of mathematics that are going to be involved in all of this. From the 2019 season, 63, 61, 67, 63. Ooh, he snuck in a 73, 67, and 36 games last year. This man averages around 61 games a year. He will miss a fourth of the season, guaranteed. Who's going to score? Who's going to carry the team during those 20 games? How much will that hurt you in the standings? Do you remember when Butler would take his days off? This isn't taking days off. This is a man that constantly gets injured. And he only played, I know he would have played more than 36 last year because he could have played a few games towards the end of the year. But Milwaukee wanted, no, we want to trade your ass. We want to keep you healthy. So it really wasn't 36, but again, he had more injuries. This is a major risk. This is your best player now, and your best player can't play. This is a team that doesn't have stars. So the only star you now acquired, you really need your star to play 75, 80 games. He can't do that. We play in a 3-point world. He's a 2-point player. Bam's a 2-point player. And Bam does not have the offensive cojones to play the way he needs to play every night. He's very passive, as you all know. He won't go out there and, take it upon himself to score 25 plus points every night like a real franchise player has to do. He's not going to do that. You know that. I know that. So now we are depending on them to acquire all the people around them to carry the load, to hit the threes, because the math does not jive. If Giannis and Bam are playing the twos, and by the way, I see all the silliness already, whether it's writing or radio or TV. Oh, their defense and this and that. When do we talk about defense in the NBA? Why? Who makes you think that defense is, oh my God, are we back in the 90s again? If we were in the 90s, oh man, I like this move. I love this move if we're in the 90s. We're only going to score 85, 95 points. I'm good. Let's go. Let's go. Give me Giannis and give me Bam. We'll get by for sure. In this league, it's 120. Norman Powell, you want to bring him back? Fine. Does he play 80 games or is he another 60 guy? Oh, I'm sorry. He played 58. 52 started. More math for you. Who makes up for Powell's absences? I'm just here to be living in reality. I don't play this fantasy bullshit. When you acquire Brady Tkachuk, I tell you, man, that's a hell of a move. Screw those first rounders. That's a 27-year-old. We don't have time to wait for those first rounders. This team's loaded. Let's rock right now. But you're acquiring a star to join other stars. So I'll give you the common sense. That's a great move. This is an all-out desperate ass move. You don't have anything to put around him. Okay, Bobby Portis is a decent three-point shooter that you have there. You can't really count on Wiggins. Have you watched him? We're going to now try to talk ourselves into something like he has ability, but he doesn't have the goods. You saw it. Powell can't stay healthy anyways. He can't play this pace game, and we're not in the 90s. If we were back in the 90s, Norman Powell might be able to last. But now we just added another year on him, and we got to play that pace game. That stuff doesn't. Davion Mitchell, solid player, good player. I like him. But is he a guy that I necessarily am going to count on and get all the way to the finals or something like that? It's a lot to ask, man. And then you kept Nikola Jovic because Milwaukee was like, yeah, we'll make this deal, but no, we don't want that bum. But no, we're going to talk ourselves into, well, no, he'll turn the corner this year. I mean, and then if this and if that, and people just don't look at what really goes on. Wiggins played 68 games. Powell played 58 games, started 52. Giannis only played 36. Bam is not a scoring machine. You need so much. And by the way, you have a $15.5 million exemption, which will get you a decent player, not a great player anymore. You have two $5.5 million exemptions, which will get you scrubs. You have a total of $18.3 million before you hit the first apron with the owner that is really tax worried because he ain't going to go to the second apron. So he's only $18.3 million under the first apron, and he has to fill out the whole roster. He has to fill out 5 more roster spots for $18.3 million. So you're definitely going to go over the apron and pay tax. Math. Before you sit down and whoa. When you start doing the math of what you have to do in order to compete with the better, younger teams, but I get it. They had no choice. They didn't do what Orlando Alzigari wanted. They didn't get rid of Jimmy Butler when they were supposed to. They should have never acquired Kyle Lowry. They should have gotten rid of Tyler Hero the year he was, healthy. All the things they should have done. Terry Rozier. Who the trades for Terry Rozier, dude? Who's stupid enough to give out a first-round pick for Terry Rozier? I mean, how many things do I have to talk about that is just flat out stupid that has led you to this desperate move? Because you're a screw up all the way through, and you turn around to LeBron James and say, where are you going? We have Danny Granger and Bob for you. I mean, listen, man, you want to live in fantasy? You go ahead. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Spo coaches his ass off. But what I see here, it's not as easy as it looks. And, when we talk about delusional fan bases, the Miami Heat fan base is one of the most delusional fan bases in the world. Welton Rayom, proud sponsors of our program, 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Give them a ring, 954-966-4646. They've got their own adjusters, and we are in hurricane season, so if you suffer any kind of damage, in fact, never call the insurance companies. You call Welton Rayom. They send their adjusters, and then they attack the insurance company on your behalf, and you never deal with the insurance company. It's a beautiful thing. 954-966-4646. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation on the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can send in your questions, comments, insults. We appreciate it as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you as always. Ocala Joe, thank you for the love, sir, on Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, keep stacking and have a good show. Thank you, my friend. And as for Bitcoin right now, we are at 62,435. The markets are now barely in the green. They started in the red. The Dow started in the red, a couple hundred points in the red, and now it's back into the green at 35 points, actually, up 35 points. The S&P, actually, it's only up 18 now, just refreshed again. The S&P is down 62 points. And the NASDAQ is barely up a point. All right? There you go. All right. By the way, let's get to our 3A graphics sports calendar. The Miami Heat, they made their move. They traded for Giannis Antetokounmpo. They will also get Bobby Portis. They will trade 3 first-round picks, the number 13 pick in the draft this year, 2031 and 2033 first-round picks. They also have a second-round pick in the future and a first-round pick swap, along with Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, and Kasparis Yakuchonis. No, they weren't able to unload Jovic. Miami was forced to keep Jovic. That move was made. Let's hope for the best. Yesterday in football, Argentina defeated Austria 2-0. Messi with 2 goals in the 38th and in the 90th minute, which he now owns the World Cup record with goals 17 and number 18. Nobody has scored more World Cup goals than Lionel Messi. France defeated Iraq 3-0. Mbappe with a brace in that one. Norway over Senegal 3-2. I told you Algeria, the only thing I didn't love, the minus 190 was just too much. But Algeria went over Jordan 2-1. Algeria is not bad, actually. Jordan did take the lead in that game. But Algeria did come back and win that one 2-1. Today at 1 o'clock, Portugal taking on Uzbekistan. Portugal minus 750 on the money line. Uzbekistan plus 2,000. At 4, it's England taking on Ghana. England minus 600, Ghana plus 1,500. My boys, Panama, at 7 o'clock are in action, plus 600 against Croatia, which they should win, minus 220. And at 10 o'clock, Colombia. They'll be going through the vents to get to their seats. Colombia's plus 190 taking on the Congo, who's plus 600. Sorry, minus 190 for Colombia, plus 600 for Congo. And the Nets yesterday in a multi-team deal, 3-team deal, they acquire Julius Randle from Minnesota. Nick Claxton goes to the Bulls. The Brooklyn Nets get the number 28 pick in the draft. Minnesota also gets the number 33rd pick, and Mo Guaya from Chicago. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. If you need custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. All right. The other thing that when I look at this one that's kind of weird, Giannis didn't decide this thing. He just left it at Boston and Miami. And Milwaukee Bucks are the ones that chose Miami. Giannis had an opportunity to control his destiny, and he did to a certain extent because other teams were interested, but he said, I would only re-sign with Miami and Boston. Then it was up to Boston and Miami to make their case with Milwaukee, and he was good with wherever he landed. In the end, Giannis didn't ultimately decide where he wanted to go. He gave them an option, which is pretty decent of him to do that, to be quite honest. Okay, a lot of guys, most guys in the NBA will dictate where they want to go. Shaq, Anthony Davis, Harden, Butler. Sometimes there are guys that are able to dictate where they want to go, because in the NBA it's the easiest league to dictate where you want to go. He actually gave them an option. He was good with going to Boston or Miami. It was Milwaukee's decision to go with more picks and young players that are under their first-year contracts than going with the superstar, which I thought they would get Jaylen Brown and then move him for more picks. That's why when Shams said, it's only going to be two teams, Miami and Milwaukee or Milwaukee and Boston, I was like, oh, shit. Then what they'll do is they'll move Giannis after to somewhere else. I mean, they'll move Jaylen Brown to Milwaukee, and then Milwaukee will ship him to Portland or wherever for a boatload of picks. And then that way they'll get some picks from Boston, and they'll get more picks in the Jaylen Brown trade to somewhere else. That's not what was going to happen. It was either they were going to acquire Jaylen Brown and then build around him, or they were going to go the young route completely and build around all the picks. Oh, and by the way, they're probably counting on this not working, and that's why they're counting on those picks being pretty good picks. Because the one they're getting this year is already set. It's 13. The future ones, they know Giannis has missed a bunch of games. They probably think the same way I do. There's not enough shooting around. They don't have enough money to go buy shooting. They have limitations. That owner is not going to go over two aprons. He's not going to do the stuff that Phoenix does. No, they're not going to do it. He's not going to be that crazy. He's going to be very deliberate, very sensible, frugal, whatever you want to call it. But I that part of it I thought was really, really interesting, that in the end, he could have been a total dick about the whole thing, and he wasn't. He decided on two teams, and then he let Milwaukee decide his fate, and he was fine with either one. It's pretty interesting. I thought that was kind of odd in the NBA, but it goes with who he is as a person. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can use those QR codes right there. And you can send in your donation, Cash App or Venmo, and send in your questions, comments, insults. We appreciate it either way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stephen Harris, good morning to you, sir. Bad move, but looking forward to hearing your take on it. We just got to hope for the best. You know what we're all hoping for? You want to know what we're all hoping for? We're hoping that Spo comes up with magic, dude. Spo figured out a way in the bubble to get to the finals. Spo figured out a way to get to 31-10 with a bunch of scrubs. He made it look so good that the front office got suckered and signed those fools to long-term contracts. Spo found a way to get to the finals a second time. Spo has won titles. I have all the faith that Spo is going to max whatever chicken shit you give him, he's going to make chicken salad. Because if there's one thing left that is, elite as hell in that franchise, it is Spo. I can't tell you their personnel moves are good, but I can tell you Spo is the baddest mother effer there is on the planet. He's the best coach on the planet. He's the best coach in Heat history. He's maybe right up there with Shula, like neck and neck. That's how much respect I have for that man. That's how much I enjoy watching what he does night in and night out and how he figures shit out. He's the guy that started the positionless basketball in the NBA. This guy is at another level. The guy that has made the Heat matter more than what they should, considering the horrible decisions of the front office, is Spo. Can you imagine if you went the way I wanted to go and tear it all down and load it up with young guys and start giving a whole bunch of young guys Spo? Oh my God, he'd mold it. He'd mold a team into, some nastiness. OKC doesn't lose to San Antonio if Spo is coaching. And that's what I look forward to. I look forward to seeing what magic he comes up with and how he maximizes this craziness when Giannis is out missing games and other guys have to somehow carry the load and all that kind of stuff, and what kind of defensive he's going to have to push it so much defensively because they're not an offensive team. And this is an offensive league. It's a hell of a challenge for Spo. Spo may have to put up the best coaching job he's ever had to do to make up for this. This is like the Scrubberini's 31-10, that the first half of the year was a disaster because he's trying to figure shit out. And then he figures out, okay, this is the way I have to play with these scrubs. And then they take off and almost make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be that kind of thing. I can see maybe some rough starting and then him trying to figure things out. They'll be a good team. They're not going to be a championship team. I don't think they're going to win the Eastern Conference or anything like that, but they'll be somewhere in the 4, 5, or 6 range. Sure. They'll avoid the play-in is what they'll do now. They've gotten a step up, but that's about it. I don't know how much more. We'll see. We'll see how much more we can get out of Spo. Okay? Because that's really what this is all about. It's about Spo working more and more magic, man. Crazy shit. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Don't forget our friends at Acura of Pembroke Pines. We love Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone. Great people out there. They've been with us for 16 years now, and all 7 here on the platform. 15 years, I think it is. And 7 here on the platform. And they are, no, it is, I think, it might be 16, maybe. I gotta check it out, but they are now celebrating their 18th anniversary sale. They've got the Integra 2026 model, $239 a month. They will waive your first payment up to $450. They've got the ADX, $289 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, $399 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months, and the MDX, $499 a month, and they will waive your first payment up to $1,000. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. And by the way, if you happen to own or lease an Acura, oh man, Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, they are absolutely fantastic people, and they'll make you feel comfortable there. So take your car there, get it serviced at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right, Jeff in Long Island is in. You want to give Messi, you know what? Since he's with Inter, we'll do it. We'll give it to him. We'll give it to him since he's with Inter. Okay. True Fin fan, I don't care what we gave up. They're nobodies. It's the amount of first rounders that worries me a little. Like it or not, the old man landed a big name. Yeah, kind of worn out. Oscar Rojas out in Melbourne. Dolphin Dave, I think it's an okay trade, but you better hope he stays healthy because right now you don't have a team to win a championship. He never stays healthy. Again, since the 2019 season, 63, 61, 67, 63, 73, 67, and 36 last year. He never stays healthy. Be prepared. Injuries will happen. Jay Bird says the big Greek freak is coming to town, and Riley proved he never cared about draft picks. World Cup games have people watching. Smash it. Oscar Rojas doesn't like the trade, but you got to live with it. I'm with you. That's kind of what it is. Good thing is we have God as head coach, and he has created magic with lesser teams. If Riley can make some additions with our coach, you never know. Exactly. John Padilla, thank you, sir. Lenny Pena, Big O as well. You know, I wasn't in favor of this trade, but now that it's done, I have no choice but to embrace it. Of course, we're Heat fans. We have to embrace it. I think a key is in the deal was getting Bobby Portis. He shot 41%. Yeah, dude, they desperately need three-point shooters. But we can't have Bobby Portis shooting 7-10 three-pointers a night. They need a rotation of guys. Brian Landis, Andrew Mann, Sam the Man. Don't start with the negativity. Hey, Sam, it's honest. You're the same guy. So what do you say about my negativity when I said trade Jimmy Butler after the finals against Denver? Was that negativity or is that intelligence? Don't trade for Kyle Lowry. Is that negativity or intelligence? Don't like the Rozier move. Is that negativity or intelligence? You know what I'm saying? The problem with some of you out there, you're too sensitive, dude. And you can't handle honesty. If you just want cheerleader, go listen to somewhere where that's where you go into that echo chamber. Find the echo chamber. But we're just going to give it to you the way it is. And it's just the same thing. Those of you that are all, you're not happy with the Giannis move. Yeah, so? So what? I wasn't happy with Terry Rozier or Kyle Lowry. And what? And I said they should have traded Jimmy Butler right after the finals against Denver for a bunch of picks. And what? That's not negativity, bro. That's intelligence. That's foresight. The Heat, they've been dealing with foreskin. That's what they think with foreskin, not foresight. I can't help it if it's all documented. It's all there on video. I was right every time. What do you want me to do? If you don't want to hear brutal honesty, don't tune in. The guy coming up now told them all the offseason last year, season will suck. Season will suck. We had people that thought they were going to go to the playoffs or have a winning record or all that kind of crap. There you go. It's not negativity. It's just intelligence. And I'm willing to be objective about it. I don't have to put on the pom-poms for it. Do I wish the best for this? Hell yeah, dude. I'm a Heat fan. But I got to do this job objectively. That's all. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's talk a little Dolphins with the one and only David Furones in our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayon Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
Brutal honesty is not good, David. Just want you to know that, okay? Don't be brutally honest.
It's not good. First of all, mic check.
Oh,
you hear me okay?
Beautiful. Yeah. You got a mic. He's got earphones.
Yeah, it's black on black, so you can almost not see it. But
yeah, but there
got the earphones on. Let's see if this works better. I still worry about the connection. I wanted to get it on my phone to see if that was better, but I couldn't set it up on my phone right away on short notice. But because I just unpacked it moments ago, but. Got it onto my laptop, which is fresh off a reboot too. I don't have all the tabs open like I usually do, so maybe that helps out the connection, and my laptop isn't bogged down.
No, you sound great, dude. I bet
okay,
you
here we go.
Everybody's going to say that it's a huge upgrade from the normal stuff that we've been getting lately with the shady connections there. Anyway, quick story for me. I'm frustrated with the move, but I understand the Heat had no choice already. They didn't listen to me to trade Butler right after the finals against Denver for a boatload of picks. They would have been better off. They didn't listen to me to not make the Lowry move. They didn't listen to me to not make the Rozier move. I'm sorry. They haven't listened to me on any of this bad moves. And now they're at a point where I get it. They got to make this move. I don't like it. I think he's too old. And I made this, I don't know if you know this, from the 2019 season and on, 63, 61, 67, 63, 73, 67, and 36 games last year. This guy misses a ton of games every year. I don't know how you're going to get by when your star is missing a quarter of the season. We had a star that used to miss a quarter of the season, and that did not bode well for the rest of the roster. I just see a lot of the broken record and a broken down star. So I understand their gamble. I understand that Pat Riley still lives in the 90s. I get it, but I disagree. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm glad you do see that they had to do that. I understand you don't like the move, but then just that in order to get back to a place where this team can contend right away, Pat Riley ain't trying to start a rebuild right now and go through the OKC or San Antonio path of tank, which you don't know if you're going to end up like OKC or San Antonio. You could also end up like Philadelphia, but that's neither here nor there on that line.
You could end up like Houston, and you could end up like Detroit, and you could end up like Orlando, and you could end up like a lot of teams. Everybody mentions Philadelphia as the only failure out of the whole thing. But, it's working for OKC. It's working for Detroit. It's working for San Antonio. It's working for Orlando. It's working for Houston. The teams that have gone and sucked and go get young stars, they're the ones that are on the climb. Miami is not, because they don't go get the young stars. They did not suck. They did not go into the lottery. So it has worked overall for most. Just because it didn't work for Philadelphia, it looks like that's their incompetence more than anything else.
I think people only name Philadelphia because that's the one that stands out the most. But you talk about like Washington, who hasn't, had like one run more than 10 years ago. Charlotte now has some pieces that are trying to develop, but still they hadn't made the playoffs since 2016. Minnesota has been to some Western Conference Finals now, but they had so many years.
Yeah, but those two did not start a process. They are just una plata de mierda.
They just sucked.
Yeah. They have just been a terrible franchise for decades, bro. For half a century, those people have been and Charlotte has been terrible since it existed. Overall, they've never gotten it overall. So I just, I wouldn't use those as an example. Philadelphia literally said, no, we're going to go tank and we're going to do the process and all that. And it didn't work out. But then OKC did it. And all these other teams have done it, and it's worked out for them. That's all I'm saying, is that it's really worked out for most. And if you look at the way the Heat draft, since they draft in the middle of the round, they actually do a pretty good job. If you actually gave Simon and company a top 5 pick every once in a while, and number 1 and number 2 and number 3 and number 4 and number 5, I'd be interested to see what the hell they could come up with.
They could come up with Dwayne Wade, who was number 5. They could also come up with a Michael Beasley, who was number 2. But I mean, that year, everyone kind of expected he was going to go 1 or 2, and then Derrick Rose became the prize, and the Heat ended up with 2 instead of 1 in the lottery. But that's not the Heat way to go to go and take the long route, play the long game, especially at this stage for Pat Riley. So I'm excited for it, just to get a superstar back after all these attempts to bring in the whale, and then it's just taken so long to see it come up again. I mean, since the Heat put the big 3 together in 2010, then it was like, okay, they could always get the pieces to go around. Like they added the Shane Battier edition the next year, Ray Allen, Birdman, whatever you want to throw in there. Then it didn't take until Jimmy Butler, and then not until now. So, I mean, it's been like few and far between since that era. So now this is a resurgence of, okay, Pat Riley is working his magic again. He finally landed the whale that he's been trying to get. And, I mean, if the narrative of that some people try to put out there of, oh, they gutted their roster to make this happen. I mean, gutted the roster of what? Like players that are – 4 players that rank what, like 3 through 9 or 10 on a roster that was for the 10 seed in the East this past season. So, and some draft picks, which you got to get rid of in order to land someone like Giannis. The injury concerns are there for me because he's had persistent calf issues. You never know when that could lead to an Achilles. So you always hear about the calf with Giannis. And in fact, the Heat themselves have benefited twice from playoff runs where he was injured, and then they were able to get through a stronger Milwaukee team because Giannis wasn't around. So that does stick in your mind. And then also the fit, if it's Bam and Giannis, okay, you've got kind of like a 2026 version of Twin Towers type of vibe with 2 bigs, but the shooting lacks. So if you ever have Bam and Giannis on the court at the same time, you're going to need 3 big-time shooters with them. You can't have any other like flexibility. It's got to be 3 shooters who can also play defense, hopefully. But you're going to have strong rim protection there, help defense, guys who can switch off pick and rolls. So defensively, I'm going to love it. But yeah, they're going to need some shooting around Bam and Giannis. And I feel like it was something they had to do in order to get back into contention. Pat Riley had to be itching after watching the Knicks win the title.
Yeah, they had no choice. They really aren't going to do the rebuild. He already said it in that press conference that he'd rather quit than rebuild. So they were going to go down this path. We'll see what happens, my brother. We'll see what happens. All right. What is happening with Derrick Brooks? What's going on with that one? Because that's the one that you and I have been talking about. That I told you the center was a no-brainer. That was going to happen with Malik Willis. There was no way he was going to go unsigned. But the Derrick Brooks one is one that
Jordan Brooks.
I mean Jordan Brooks, the Jordan Brooks one.
I don't know how much Derrick Brooks has left in the tank.
If it was Derrick Brooks, I'd be bitching at them, going, "What are you waiting for? Sign his ass!" No, Jordan Brooks. That's the one we talked about that could possibly drag, and it's dragging. So what's the latest?
Yeah, I mean, prime Derrick Brooks, you give him whatever he wants. Yeah. The Jordan Brooks deal is dragging a little bit. I mean, I think right now just quiet. I don't know if now just because the team is away, people take vacation around this time. If it just kind of now, if they revisit closer to the start of training camp, Or I mean, it could just get, the agents are always working, GMs are always working. So, especially if Jordan Brooks has already communicated his wishes to his agents and representation, and then they could just work that out, and then he could just get a call from wherever he's at in the world as he enjoys this next month or so that he has off. Where knowing Jordan Brooks, he's probably still working out and working his ass off in order to be right for the season. But yeah, I mean, I think it might have been a little telling that he was one saying, I don't know if it's going to get done, honestly, when we asked him about it at OTAs or minicamp, whenever he spoke to the media. But I do lean to believe, yeah, it will get done either right before training camp or maybe during training camp, and that he's not going to be a holdout type of guy. He showed up for all the voluntary offseason stuff. So he kind of views it as, hey, he's still got this year on his contract. He's not going to stay away because he's negotiating for all these other years. He kind of plays it by the book, like, all right, yeah, I am on this team for this season. And it's a big deal to be around as a leader with all this newness that's around me, all this roster turnover, new GM, new coach, new coaching staff, assistants, everything. Then he wants to be around for that and really set the tone as one of the leaders on this team. So he's going to be around, and then we'll see where the negotiations go. But right now, stalling a little bit. But I do believe that Sullivan, he wanted to get these three done. He got Devon Achane check, Abram Brewer check. I believe he will get Jordan Brooks done in a matter of time.
Will Jordan Brooks hold out if he doesn't have a contract starting in training camp?
No, I don't see that for Jordan Brooks. I mean, yeah, like I said, he was there for all the voluntary stuff in the offseason. So if he was holding out then and maybe saying, okay, yeah, I'll show up for mandatory minicamp and taking that route, but Jordan Brooks isn't that type of guy. He really puts the team first, his relationships with his teammates, with the coaches first. That's just the type of dude he is. So yeah, he'll be there.
This is the final year of his contract, correct?
Right.
Sometimes you got to look out for number 1 and not number 2 through 53. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I would, if I'm his agent, I'd be very concerned about that, because now you're going into your final year with no guarantees. And if you get injured, then you're screwed in a big time way. I wonder about that. We'll see what happens, man, because that's kind of crazy on his part to do that. You realize that, right, David? It's kind of crazy to think, oh, I'm about the team. It's all about the team, and I'm going to go report to training camp, and I'm going to get in there and put pads on and start hitting and all that, and I'm not going to worry about injuries, and I don't have any guarantees past this season. Oh man, that's risky.
Yeah, it's risky. But this guy is also just so durable. I mean, he did have at the end of one of the seasons in Seattle an ACL tear, but then recovered so quickly, like it was remarkable. So you won't even see it on his games log. If you look at his year by year, it's all like 17, 16, 17, because he blew out his knee at the end of one season and then came back for training camp the next year and, was just solid himself. So, but aside from that, his last 2 years with the Dolphins, any kind of bumps and bruises or minor injury deals, plays through that. So the guy is ultra durable too. So now you don't want that to get into your head, because then that's when you leave yourself susceptible to injury, is when you just think you're Iron Man and nothing could happen to you. That's when something does, unfortunately for a lot of athletes. But yeah, I mean, that it's the type of dude he is. So I could just see him out there and hopefully just get settled before then. There's still a month before training camp. So I think once you start getting closer and closer, then that's when that part of it becomes a worry. But hey, they took care of Achane, took care of Brew, and then, hey, even Jordan Brooks said it when he was reacting to Achane getting his deal. I got to go back into the quotes, but I believe he called Achane the best player on the team. So that's the way he sees it, as opposed to viewing it. He doesn't view himself as number one. You mentioned number one versus number 2 through 53. He doesn't view himself as number one. He put Achane above himself. So he understood when Achane got his deal first, and then Brewer. Well, okay, that's a little bit of like the importance of the offensive line, and maybe just the numbers worked out earlier in order to get that one done. But Brooks still on the docket, and but there's still a lot of time.
All right, I asked you about your gut feeling on the Brooks situation. I'm going to ask you about your gut feeling on another risky thing, and that's Brendan Sorsby. What do you think happens there now after you've had a couple of days to maybe collect some information, get a feel for the Dolphins? I get the feeling they're not going to do anything. I don't think they're going to mess with Malik Willis in any way possible, because this would mess with them a little bit mentally, that you committed to the guy and all of a sudden you're going to commit a pretty high pick, because I say you should at least throw in a third rounder. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm at least putting out a third rounder on Brendan Sorsby. With that talent, I am taking a chance, dude. So what's your gut or info that you've gathered tell you about the Dolphins and Brendan Sorsby?
Okay, so sounds to me like you're cooling off on Brendan Sorsby as far as
not at all. No,
you sounded more bullish earlier. Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that the Dolphins won't do it. I would.
As far as the Dolphins, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would easily put a third rounder on Brendan Sorsby. Easily, with not even. I'm not even flinching. I'm not even worried about it. I think there's going to be a psychopath somewhere that's going to put a second rounder, because the kid has got too much ability to pass up, dude. Just way too much ability to pass up. So I think I told you this last week, that I changed my mind and I'm up to third rounder now for him. I would do it because I'm a Dolphins fan. And I've watched them get lucky with one quarterback in 50 years. One quarterback. And that was Marino, that got lucky, that fell to them at that spot. Outside of that, the Dolphins have no skill at finding a quarterback. So, yeah, I would take a chance on him. I have not wavered one bit. I'm just telling you that I think the Dolphins won't do anything, because the two guys in charge are too in love with Malik Willis, and they maybe not want to hurt his feelings by doing that. Just saying.
Yeah. And the inclination, I believe, is it's between a second and or a third. So I don't even know if the third would get you Sorsby. It might take the second. So, in that case, then you don't end up with him. But I mean, you made a good point as to I was going to side err on the side of caution of not going for it, not dipping your toes into. Although it would be the prospects of bringing in another quarterback are appealing, but you made a good point as far as the Malik Willis impact. You already made a commitment to a quarterback that you want to invest in, that they did invest in. They invested money in a 3-year deal for him. So there's that aspect, which, and you've heard me on the shows previous to this where we've discussed this, where even not even talking the Malik Willis impact, then I was kind of on board with not going that route. Obviously, he had the off the field issues, and they're big on culture right now. So that's one thing where, okay, if he had been gambling, and the NFL is very much anti-player gambling in the facility. I'm sure Sorsby has learned his lesson, and in interviews and all the interactions he's going to have with teams and in the coming, I don't know how many weeks or whatever it is. I'm sure that'll come up, and he'll have his answers prepared, and he'll say all the right things. Then it comes down to his actions, and hopefully he has learned that he's got to stay away from that. But if you're talking about bringing in the right culture guys, then that's something that's going to be a red flag for you. Especially you have a big 2027 draft class. You want to give Malik Willis a year to evaluate him, even if it's going to be difficult with the type of weaponry he has. But go ahead and give yourself a chance. You invested in this quarterback, in Malik Willis. You have a solid backup in Quinn Ewers already. So that's your 1-2 that you're evaluating now. go ahead and give that a try for 2026. See where you're at after the season plays out, and then you can go into the 2027 draft class if you need to. Whatever the case may be. But I would say just stay put with the quarterback situation you have right now, and then I'll play it forward once you are able to evaluate Malik Willis in Miami.
So you think the Dolphins will not try at all for Brendan Sorsby?
I don't know if that's not try at all or just throw in a pick where it's like a bargain based on what they're hearing. I don't know if that would be fourth. You're not getting them, it doesn't seem like. So do they just throw, okay, in case no one else is on board, a third, then maybe someone's going in for a second, and then okay, you just lucked out that you got him for a third. Remember, I was kind of expecting them to use a third round pick. They had 3 of them going into this past draft. I thought, okay, one of those could be a quarterback, and then they ultimately did not. So it wouldn't surprise me entirely, but I would, especially since there are some off the field concerns, then I would lean to that they'll stay away.
So personally, what would you do if you're the Dolphins? For me, I would definitely put in a third rounder at least for him. I have to try. I have to at least try. I think if you're the Dolphins, you have to. But what would you do if you're the Dolphins? What's your opinion?
I would lean on not going for it, or
really?
just putting in for a bargain. Like, all right, fourth and maybe third. Maybe third is actually like the bar. Maybe we might be closer than we're really putting off here, because I might say, okay, third, and then that's considered a bargain to get Brendan Sorsby. All right, throw it in and then see if he just falls to us as a supplemental pick.
Have you watched his tape? Have you watched any of his talent?
Vaguely, some highlights, see the body type he has. Yeah. Now, haven't delved deep into like criticizing his game, which would be more like the intricacies of, let's really break down what happened on this interception, what went wrong, not that kind of stuff, but highlights.
You should watch more Brendan Sorsby so you can check out the skill set. He's got
okay. And then I'm gonna end up feeling like, no, throw in a 2 for him.
If you're a Dolphins fan, I don't know how you don't have any interest in this. I don't know how you don't want to try in this. If you're a Dolphins fan, we've gotten one quarterback in half of a century by pure luck. If it wasn't for party rumors and 19 interceptions, he doesn't fall to Miami at 20-something. And if Shula had the 10th or 15th pick in the draft, he would have picked O'Brien or Blackledge or one of those guys. He wouldn't have even picked Marino himself. We got lucky by getting Marino, and it's the only guy we've got in half a century before Greasy, of course. So you think about it as a Dolphins fan, dude, I want to take a shot at every quarterback that's out there until I find one. Until I find the guy, I'm not going to stop turning over every rock possible. And if you look at that kid's ability, he's more talented than all the guys we have right now. Seriously, he's got a better arm, more accuracy than Willis. Willis can maybe outrun him, but this kid can run. It's not like this guy's a stiff or anything. This kid can run. He throws from all kinds of arm angles. He's got a strong arm. He's as talented as anybody coming out next year in the first round. That's the crazy shit, dude. If there was no gambling and he comes back to Cincinnati this year and kicks ass, he's a first rounder next year. Guaranteed first rounder next year.
Yeah. He's got to have that college season play out, because
right.
He wasn't set to be a first rounder right now. And this is it's literally what we have to work with as far as where he stands right now at this moment.
Got good talent.
I could see that projection for sure. I could definitely see that projection happening. He's in the mix to be one of those quarterbacks that would have been that 2027, first round draft class. But it is a loaded one too. So I mean, there's just all this focus right now on Brendan Sorsby because he is the one of all those prospects who is available right now. as opposed to, but there are still a lot of them out there. So coming up in the 2027 class. So,
and and dude, what if
yeah,
he's
no,
just
but I hear you.
What if he's just some punk kid that got bet happy just for some time and that's it, but it's not like something that's going to be major? Because I'm thinking if he made how many thousands of bets for $90,000, he didn't bet a lot of money. It was, I don't know how many bets. I think it was like 9,000 bets for $90,000 or something. I mean, dude, I've never even made that many bets in my life, and I'm way older than that guy.
I haven't. Yeah.
I don't even think I've made 1,000 bets in my lifetime. But if you played $90,000 and 9,000 bets, that's like, what are you betting, dude? $100, $50, $75, or 20?
10. You know? Well, 10, literally 10. That's the math on that. $10.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying big money. What's he on a day that he's big spending? What's he doing? $100, $150? Other days, you're right, $10. But that's my point. It's not big money. It's not anything out of this world. So it's maybe something you can work with and hey, we're all stupid, dude. We're all young. We all make mistakes growing up. That's part of life, bro. That's kind of normal. For me, for a quarterback in the NFL, I'm taking a chance on the kid, dude. I am taking a chance.
Yeah.
And especially
we all
as jaded as I am as a Dolphins fan that we never get a quarterback, hells to the I want one. Yeah.
We all go through those phases. Like, I mean, for me, it was like during college, I'm pretty sure, like a little bit just out, or like I got on the gambling sites, which would have been illegal at the time. But yeah, and then I was like looking every day. Okay, what do I want to put something on? And it was just like small money. I didn't make a lot of money when I was in college, so I didn't have much to work with. But kind of like got my fix in, and then just. I don't really ever think about like, oh, I got an itch to gamble. I want to throw some money on this game, where like that's taken over so much as a craze recently. So a lot of my friends who like never thought of it before, now they have access to it on the apps, and now it's legal in Florida, and it becomes a way of life for them. So I guess it did a little bit to Sorsby when he put in that many bets, but where it was just like his day-to-day thinking, like, oh, there's a game on, which there is every day. What can I wager on? And it's just like it becomes a way of how you think for every single day in your life. So that part of it is concerning, but then also he knows how to manage the money and not go throw exorbitant amounts into these bets. So that part of it is okay. And I would say like I totally hear you as far as having to go take that shot. If you were going with the original Mike McDaniel plan, had he stayed, of letting Quinn Ewers have this year, and then maybe you only just grab like a free agent bridge veteran quarterback who's not really going to be your future plan. If you had that type of setup, and then Sorsby is available, and maybe they would have taken a quarterback in this past draft too in a mid-round selection, but Sorsby is available. Okay. Then definitely got to make a competitive bid for him. Whereas this franchise said, okay, they know Malik Willis from Green Bay. This regime said, all right, let's go take a shot on him to give him the reins here in this new situation. So they're pretty invested into it, not just financially, but as far as their process. So I think they do got to give him this year, where the only competition is the guy who was already around, and then see where you're at afterwards. But with that said, you could throw in for like a bargain type of pickup, but and then see if it works, and then okay, if not, all right, then you're fine. Yeah, this was your plan the whole time.
Throw in the third rounder just in case I get lucky. I know some crazy bitch is going to throw in a second rounder somewhere because it'll be a luxury pick for them. They may have a quarterback already, and they say, "Hey, man, let's get this kid, and he could sit, we could groom him, whatever." If you're the Steelers, why wouldn't you spend a second rounder on the guy? I mean, if you'll bring in Aaron Rodgers, I'll take a chance on Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a good one right there. Steelers.
you know what I mean? If you're going to deal with that head case and that idiot all the time, yeah, I'll take Brendan Sorsby, bro. Yeah, I'll do that. If there's a bunch of teams. Baltimore, I talked about it on the show. They're facing a real contract issue with Lamar, like an $80 million number next year that they cannot absorb. And if they don't give him a new contract, they're screwed. They got to move him. And if you know you're going to end up with a contract problem with Lamar, well, then effing take Sorsby now and have him. He can actually play a little bit of Lamar's game because he can move around. You don't want him running around like that because you really don't want any quarterback doing that. But he can move around. He actually can play a little bit of that offense. So you could actually groom him for the next year. There are situations out there where there are teams that could easily take a second-round chance on a kid like that. For sure.
Yeah. So I think we're actually closer than we think. It's just we have different viewpoints on it as a whole. But then, I might throw in that third the same way just to see if you get him at a bargain. So we might actually be landing. Third just seems like the obvious pick. Third just seems like the clear choice.
The other thing that fuels my opinion, I have to be honest, I'm not a believer in Malik.
Right.
I'm sorry. So I'm not a believer in Malik. I want to go get a Brendan Sorsby just in case. Just like next year, if I can bring in Arch because you're one of the worst teams or the worst team, God bless him. Let's go. Let's bring him in, bro. I want to keep bringing
They are believers.
Until I get a quarterback, I'm going to keep bringing in quarterbacks if I'm the Miami Dolphins.
Which is a Green Bay way to do it, too. Now, granted, they always do hit, and they have their franchise quarterback, but they've always done it where they're still bringing in quality backups that they like as quarterback prospects.
Mark Brunell ended up as a starter. Aaron Brooks ended up as a starter. Matt Hasselbeck ended up as a starter. So they have traded guys away. Matt Flynn was traded, but he didn't end up becoming a starter. But they have moved people from that place. Oh, and by the way, they cut Kurt Warner. One off season, it was Brett Favre, backups Mark Brunell, Aaron Brooks, and Kurt Warner.
Man, what a quarterback.
They go and trade Brunell. They trade Aaron Brooks. They cut Kurt Warner, and they go and draft Matt Hasselbeck.
That's incredible. What year was that? Would that be like in
It's somewhere in the early 90s, I want to say. Somewhere there, I want to say.
Maybe not early. It's got to be at least mid. Yeah.
Maybe mid. Yeah, maybe mid. Somewhere right there.
Mid going into mid to late. Mid. Not so much late, but.
Well, because remember because Kurt then went back to the Arena League and then he was down. So maybe a year or two. So I don't know. You got to go look at it there because
could have been 97 or something.
Yeah, because Aaron Brunell was kicking ass in the mid 90s with the Jags. So it was probably like early to mid 90s when that was.
But happening. Aaron Brooks was already around at that point. Aaron Brooks
was sent for a 4th rounder to the Saints. And Brunell was sent for a 5th rounder, I believe, to the Jags. And then they went and drafted Matt Hasselbeck. They also drafted the kid from he didn't turn out to be good, from Louisville. I forgot his name now, but was it Jeff Brom? I think that's the coach.
I was going to say Brom. I was going to guess Brom.
Jeff Brom that they drafted, and he didn't turn out to be a good NFL quarterback. I think they drafted him.
They took a shot. Yeah.
They took a shot. And Hasselbeck, they drafted early. But then it was Wanstead and Seattle that were in battle for Hasselbeck. And Miami offered a 2nd. Seattle offered a 1st. So they turned Hasselbeck into a 1st rounder. And I think they drafted him in the 3rd or 4th round or something like that. So, it was Ron Wolf was at another level, bro. Just like, forget it. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I mean, and that's the influence. That's the influence that John Eric Sullivan has. So,
right. It's Tom. It's him and Ted Thompson, and he worked under all those. He worked mostly under Ted Thompson.
Yeah,
he worked mostly.
It's a tree. It's a tree. Yeah,
it's just but Ron was still there as a consulting in the early 2000s. I think up to maybe into the teens, maybe into the 2013s or something. But he was consulting for a while still and going in the building and all that. He's Ron freaking Wolf, bro. I mean, like
Yeah.
they do everything he set up. It's like Tom Landry. Tom Landry is the man that started scouting and certain things that scouts would do to take notes and follow players and all that kind of stuff. Tom Landry was the guy that started a lot of that shit. And then everybody copied that. It's kind of the same thing that Ron Wolf started this whole thing about going after quarterbacks. And then people like, yeah, you want to do the things that Ron Wolf does, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, that mid 90s, that's when Brett Favre was winning MVPs and they win the Super Bowl the 96 season. So, I mean, they're at the top of the NFL and have all those riches at quarterback. Yeah, well, one can only hope the Dolphins in a few years.
Holmgren, Mariucci, Gruden, all those.
Right, because the coaching staff was loaded too. Right, Andy Reid was there, right?
Yeah, Andy Reid was in there, all that. All those people were under Holmgren. And so, yeah, there was like a sick ass coaching staff too that they had there at that time. Yeah. Ron Wolf is just, he and Joe Gibbs have a lot in common on knowing how to build franchises. They were exceptional at that stuff. And so
you can tell they developed these quarterbacks too. It wasn't just, do you pick them and you get lucky with them? It's the quarterback development with that coaching staff. So that's a big part of it.
Blueprints you want to follow. All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, I think I might get to writing why the 2026 season isn't just fast forward me to 2027. I'm going to give people reasons why you should be watching the Dolphins and not just saying, hey, just please get me to 2027. I just want to watch the Heat and the Panthers and maybe these upstart Marlins a little bit, Inter Miami in the World Cup. Like, no, let's pay attention to what the Dolphins do in 2026. And I probably got some leftover. Like I might get around to writing some Jordan Phillips or different interviews that we've had over the OTAs and minicamp. But that might be the one I'm leaning toward writing now once I get off with you.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and don't forget, reach out to our friends at Welton Rayom. We are in hurricane season. 40-mile-an-hour winds can cause roof damage. So just in case, it doesn't have to be a hurricane. It could be any kind of squall that comes through, and there's a lot of rain, a lot of wind. If you notice any brown spots on your roof, save this number on your cell phone, 954-966-4646. They have their own adjusters. They will send their adjusters. They will see if you have a case, and if you do, they will go after the insurance company. You might get your new roof. It's a beautiful thing. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
So can all year cooling. If you live in Homestead all the way to Vero Beach or in Naples, reach out to our friends at All Year Cooling at 888-204-5554. Same-day service and installs. Over 350,000 satisfied customers. They've been in business since 1973, man. That's 53 years working hard for you. Extended warranties, financing available, same-day installations, free repair estimates, 7-day-a-week service, and make sure you tell them that Big O sent you wherever you live, from Homestead to Vero Beach or out in Naples. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you at All Year Cooling and Plumbing. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Send in your questions, comments, insults. We appreciate it. Fitzgrass is checking in from Naples. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Maybe Glenn Rice can make a comeback on a veteran minimum. Pat says, wait, this is what Furones really sounds like? What a difference, right? Derek Brooks could still hit probably at this age. Yeah, he was one of the best ever, man. God, what a great linebacker. And he can run like a deer, too, on top of all of that. Lenny says, let's hope during this time of off Proctor is not hitting up Krispy Kreme, Las Vegas Cuban cuisine, or La Carreta too much. He needs to watch his weight. By the way, speaking of watching my weight, well, I did my 4 miles yesterday. We're up to 4 miles a day now, me and the wife. I'm proud of myself because I got to tell you, walking 4 miles now, I'm trying to see if we can get to like 5, maybe 6 per day and work up a really nice sweat. But anyway, speaking of putting on some weight, I went to McDonald's yesterday and I had a delicious fried apple pie. Haven't had that in years, since actually the McDonald's by Kendall Drive and 107th closed down, because that one had it for a while when nobody else had it for a couple decades or whatever, which is crazy. But that one's been closed for, God, it's been about 7-8 years now, and maybe 9 that it's been closed. And I haven't had it since. And yesterday I was able to go enjoy a fried apple pie at McDonald's, and that was awesome. It was good too. It tasted like the old fried apple pie. It's you could tell it's slightly smaller because everything is, whatever burger the Whopper is not as big as it used to be. Neither is the Big Mac. Neither is a donut. When you go buy a donut wherever you went, you go look at the donut where it was 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, it's completely different. They're all charging us the same or more, and they're giving us smaller helpings and smaller products, and it's a bunch of phonies. But what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? By the way, man of 1,005 volts, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Says, my problem with this trade is we got Giannis, but now he's not going to have another star around him. Different team, same problem. Good luck. I know, man. I know. I'm with you, man. This is a move that is a desperation move. Riley refuses to rebuild the right way, the way that other teams are doing it. He doesn't have the patience for that. This is the only way he knows how. And he built a team that works in the 90s again. You know what this reminds me of? This trade reminds me of Hassan Whiteside. Here we are. Here's Spo coming off of positionless basketball that he started with the big three, when he had Bosch out at three-point land and LeBron posting and all that kind of stuff, and he switched things up, and he started something that other people do all around the league. Then the big three is gone, and Pat Riley comes back and saddles him with a 90s center that's lazy, but a 90s style center that slows the game down, is worried about blocks and rebounds, and is not worried about a faster pace and setting picks and all that kind of stuff that you need to do, because you brought back an old style player that did not belong in this kind of league nowadays. And what did you do today or yesterday by acquiring Giannis? Now you have saddled Spo with a 90s style basketball with two players that are two-point players in a 3-point league. Riley is stuck with his Armanis in the 90s, and he will not budge. And he did it again to Spo, and Spo will now have to once again make chicken salad out of chicken shit and figure out a way to play in today's basketball with yesterday's players. Big O, I started jogging while back on my doctor's advice. Problem is, I keep running into restaurants. Yes, that is a problem. That is a problem. Whiteside deceived me. I thought he was going to be our Mutombo. But again, that's the 90s. Shrinkflation is real. I'm grateful that the business I have doesn't play those games. Oh, yeah, you are correct. You are correct. That's right. Jersey Mike serves it up the right way, same way, every day. The bread is amazing. Remember, tomorrow is Double Point Wednesday. You know what? I've done a couple of Wednesdays over the last, 6 to 9 months. I've done it a couple times because I get the double points on Wednesdays. So I'll go for lunch and dinner. But eventually I get my free sandwich. So, it pays off, But you are correct, sir. You are correct. Oh, that bread is so delicious at Jersey Mike's and so damn consistent. Oh, I love consistency. Love that. Definitely. And the other thing about Jersey Mike's, the people are nice. I go to a couple of locations because I have 2 locations far from me because, I'd like one. I have no idea why we don't have one on Kendall Drive in 137, 47, 57, 67. I have no idea. We don't have one till 107th. So I have to go to the one on London Square or the one by Dolphin Mall, which it's actually a drive for me, but it's worth it. And but eventually somebody's got to open up one close because there's a sick amount of business for you. I don't know why. But anyway, it is worth it. And in both locations that I go to, they already know me and they're really nice. You know what I mean? And not because of the show. Actually, in one of the places, depends on when I go, one of the kids does watch the show, actually. So he recognized me. But the other people don't recognize me. They don't know me from the show. They're just nice. They're just polite and all that. They do it right. They do it right. I'm a huge Jersey Mike's fan. So there you go. And no shrinkflation there. And my wife loves the brownies too at Jersey Mike's. We need to add shooters around Bam and Giannis. Spo will do great. But you do know that the Heat is only $10.3 million under the luxury tax. You know how your owner is about luxury tax. They're $18.3 million under the first apron. They have a total of $15.5 million available to fill 5 roster spots. I'm sorry. No. They have 10.3 to fill 5 roster spots. They have a $15.5 million exemption and 2 $5.5 million exemptions, which those $5.5 million exemptions, I don't know what that's going to get you. The 15.5 will get you a half decent player. Hopefully you can find a really good shooter for $15 million. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see what happens. Again, it's really up to Spo being an absolute magic man once again. Jersey Mike's on 137th and Kendall Drive, and it's a new sub place called Subbin. Yeah, but see, I'm not going there. They eliminated that one on 137th. That was the one I used to go to all the time. That's the one that's closest to my house, and they eliminated it, dude. Sucks. I don't know why they eliminated that Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's is constantly busy. I don't understand. Jersey Mike's just passed Chick-fil-A as the number 1 fast food restaurant in the country. Did you know that? Jersey Mike's just passed Chick-fil-A, number 1. Ain't that some shit, as Gnarls Barkley would say. See, we have all kinds of like stupid facts in our head. I don't know how I remembered that, but I remembered that. I have like 3 Jersey Mikes near me. You bastard. I hate you, Stephen Harris. You have 3 of them close to you? Jesus. I got to drive 15, 20 minutes for mine. Seriously. For both of mine. And I used to have to only drive like 7 or 8 minutes for my original one. I miss my Jersey Mikes, man. We are worried about the 20, 31, 33 picks and swaps that might be valuable with Giannis, Iban, Bonus, our senior citizens. Bro, you don't even know if he'll last this season. That's my point. If you don't milk this and you don't get anything out of this, you'll be paying in the end. That's kind of the way it goes. I get it. You have to trade picks in order to acquire him, but he's 31, constantly breaking down. All of a sudden, he's going to become healthy now and play 75, 80 games because on a team that has no stars, your 1 star needs to play a lot. I mentioned this earlier on the show. Do you remember when the Miami Heat only had 1 star a few years ago? A couple years ago? And that 1 star could only play 3/4 or half the time? How'd that work out? So how's it going to work out if Giannis can only play 3/4 of the time? There's a price for all of this. Yes, there is rate. We have Raising Canes. I like Raising Canes. Although, again, I don't have one to like 152nd closer to the zoo, the Metro Zoo. That's the closest Raising Canes I have to my house. It's a drive, dude. And I love Raising Canes. They do an excellent job raising canes. So, yeah. What else? Big O, I think the Giannis move is contingent on his health and what the GO can put around him. Maybe you mean front office. And bam, also a little Spo magic. I know that man is in the lab as we speak. Yeah, there's no doubt. For sure. When you go back to Hialeah Park, there's one. Oh, yeah, no. Hialeah is the best, bro. Hialeah has everything. People don't realize that. But every fast food joint on the planet ends up in Hialeah first than anywhere else in Dade County. It's crazy, dude. Doesn't matter the fast food joints. They're all in Hialeah. It's a beautiful thing. Really is. Perhaps you can remember so many useless facts is because you have plenty of room available since you're not a financial advisor. That is true. That is true. Don't know anything about financing. Don't know anything about sports, music, or Jersey Mikes. Don't know any kind of stats like that. None whatsoever. Oh, let's see. What else? Speaking of what is going on with our friends, SpaceX is only down 6%. They're at 157. They went all the way down to 150. So they went up a little bit here. So no buying yet. Not yet, folks. We got more bottom to go for SpaceX. Okay. Not that I'm a financial advisor, by the way. I have no idea. But we kind of told you when it went to 220 or whatever, like, don't do this, don't buy this crap at this point. Wait for the dip. It's coming. And it's here. But we got more dip coming right now. Sadly, we got more dip coming. That's the part I don't understand with the markets. With all the stuff that's going on, I don't know how it's responded so well. It's been impressive. The Dow right now is down 56 points. The S&P is down 99 points. And the NASDAQ is barely up 1/3 of a point. Okay. All right. What else do we have going on that I want? Oh, let me do a little música. Why don't we do that, folks? All right. Let's do that. Let's get to a little music. All right, let's start off with musicians born on this date of June 23rd. Anthony Costa from the English boy band Blue, born in 81. KT Tunstall, I've seen her live, the Scottish singer. She plays like 87 instruments. Born in 75. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays. Paul Arthurs, Paul Bonehead Arthurs, one of the founding members of Oasis, born in 65. Steve Shelley, drummer with Sonic Youth, born in 67. Lee John, singer with the English trio Imagination. Ooh, 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 ah, illusion. That is Imagination, just in case. You might know the song, but you may not know that that was the name of the band, Imagination. Let's see, what else do we have celebrating birthdays today? Anthony Jackson, bassist, sessions artist, and performed with Madonna, Roberta Flack, Chaka Khan, Donald Fagen, and Simon and Garfunkel. Anthony might have some skill. Born in 52. Miles Goodwin. We just lost him, man. Canadian musician and lead vocalist and principal songwriter of the Canadian band April Wine. Just between you and me, baby, I know our love will be. He died at the age of 75. On December 3rd, 2023. Rest in peace, sir. You are an ass kicker. Robert Hunter, American lyricist, singer, songwriter, best known for his work with the Grateful Dead, born in 41. And June Carter, American singer, songwriter, actress, and of course, wife of Johnny Cash, born in 1929. Now we move over to other famous people born on this date. Remember, if I don't give you an age, unfortunately, they have passed away. We start off with British King Edward VIII, born in 1894. Astronaut Don Eisel, born in 1930. U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame sprinter Wilma Rudolph, born in 1940. Musician Stuart Sutcliffe with the Beatles, born in 1940. Actor Ted Shackelford, born in 46, still with us. He is 80. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Eugene Thomas, born in 1948. He is 78. I just keep remembering that Neil Rogers bit, and I'm just laughing. Music producer, I already talked about him. Musician Gary Beers of INXS, born in 57. He is 69 today. Musician Derek Bostrom from Meat Puppets, born in 60. He is 66. World Golf Hall of Fame member Colin Montgomery, born in 63. He's 63. Filmmaker Joss Whedon. That's Buffy and Angel and stuff like that, I think. That's Joss Whedon. Born in 64, he's 61. Musician Chico DeBarge from the family DeBarge. Born in 66, he's 60. Actress Selma Blair. Born in 72, she's 54. And bless her, that poor woman is having all kinds of health issues, man. Musician Jason Mraz. Born in 77, he's 49. Actress Melissa Rauch. Born in 80, she's 46. And musician Duffy, born in 84, she is 42. Okay. Now we will move over to what happened today on June 23rd in music history. Well, let's start it off in 65, where Smokey Robinson and the Miracles classic, The Tracks of My Tears, was released by Motown. In 66, the year I was born, the Rolling Stones departed London for their third U.S. tour just 2 weeks after Mick Jagger was hospitalized for exhaustion following extensive tours of Australia and Europe. In 67, Aretha Franklin recorded Chain of Fools. In 81, the Tom Tom Club released their self-titled debut album, and it features The Genius of Love. Great beat, man. One of the best beats any song could ever have is The Genius of Love. In 84, Duran Duran started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with The Reflex, Flex, 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 the group's first number 1 single in the U.S. In 86, the Beatles of alternative music in the 80s, the Smiths, The Queen is Dead, was released in the U.S. Is there any doubt that the Smiths are the Beatles of the 80s? It's not Depeche Mode. It's not New Order. No, it's the Smiths, right? It's not the Cure. It's the Smiths. They're the Beatles of alternative music. Am I right on this or what? All right, here we go. 16-year-old Tiffany in 1987 started her mall tour at Paramus Park Mall in New Jersey, performing her number 1 hit, I Think We're Alone Now. Tiffany's producer came up with the mall tour idea when it became clear that her record company, MCA, was not going to promote her effectively. And it was very successful for her. In 1990, Gary Busey, who portrayed Buddy Holly in the film The Buddy Holly Story, paid in the neighborhood of $240,000, $615,000 in today's world, for one of Holly's guitars at a New York auction. In 92, Eric B. and Rakim released their 4th studio album, Don't Sweat the Technique, and it features the title track, Know the Ledge. In 92, Helmet released her 2nd studio album, Meantime, and it features Unsung. In 98, the Brian Setzer Orchestra released their 3rd studio album, The Dirty Boogie, and it features Jump Jive, a Whale. In 2000, Michael Jackson was sued by a German promoter for $21 million after the singer canceled 2 once-in-a-lifetime millennial New Year's concerts. In 2010, Greg Allman, at age 62 at the time, underwent a successful liver transplant operation at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida. In 2015, Wolf Alice released their debut studio album, My Love Is Cool, in the United States. The album dropped a day earlier in the band's native UK. The album's release was preceded by a lead single, Giant Peach, a song that Wolf Alice's Ellie Roswell said is a song about growing up in London. Other tracks on the album included Bros and You're a Germ. In contrast to the UK edition, the US version of My Love Is Cool included the song Mona Lisa Smile, which has appeared on the band's 2014 EP, Creatures Song. In 2021, Britney Spears asked a court to end her conservatorship. We all now know that was a mistake, right? Which was controlled by her father. The conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good, Spears said. No, it's not. Now we know. Remember Free Britney, all that stuff? Like, do all those people regret it now? All those Britney freaks out there? I deserve to have a life and dance with knives. I'm sorry, she didn't say it. Despite her passion plea, her request was denied, but she got her wish 5 months later when her conservatorship was terminated and the crazy woman was unleashed. All right, let's see if there's any artists that weren't on the other list for birthdays. Oh, Glenn Danzig was not on the other list. He's on this one. 71 years old today. And Chet Faker is 38. I have no idea who Chet Faker is, but anybody named Chet Faker, I got to mention. Happy birthday to Chet Faker. He's 38. Again, no clue. But somebody out there is going to know who the hell Chet Faker is. I guarantee you that. They're going to go, oh, you idiot. You don't know who Chet Faker is? he's with this band, or he's this producer, or he owns this. You moron. What are you going to do? Let's see. I have a crazy theory, says Man of 1,005 Hoes, that Riley isn't done and he wants Ja would be the only thing that makes sense or nonsense in this game. Well, I would go with nonsense because you're adding another 2-point player. Like, we're going way back into the 90s. Like, way back, bitch. Way back. Back into time. Frankie Fresco says, question Wiggins opt out if he can get. See, here's the thing. Why would he opt in for 1 year or multiple years at less money when maybe he could get the same amount of money multiple years somewhere else? I just don't see Wiggins sacrificing for the team if there's a better deal out there. I just think he's going to go after the money. And the other thing, Frankie, does Wiggins convince you? He has ability. There's no doubt about it. It's there, dude. You see it. But I don't see dog. Like when you watch Davion Mitchell, that's a dog. You can question his talent and say how good he is or whatever you want. I'm good with that. But you cannot question his heart, his determination, his fire, his desire. He is a Heat type of player. I love Davion Mitchell. Now, am I going to put Davion Mitchell and put a whole world of offensive responsibility on him? That's probably not fair. But I do love him off the bench. I think he's a terrific little player, smart player, tough player. But he has that fire that I wish Wiggins would play with. If Wiggins played with that fire, then I would be very interested in Wiggins. But Wiggins doesn't convince me after watching him closely like this. It's just, what are you going to do? Let's see. What else do we have here? Being from West Kendall, everything is far from West Kendall. Now in Homestead, we have most chains close by. Yeah, you do. And that's in that whole strip area of Homestead, you do, man. You lucky bastards. And I think also, remember, you lucky some bitches there in Homestead, you're leading into the Keys. So you have so much traffic in and out that if you have a fast food joint, you want to be in Homestead, Florida City, leading into the Keys, because people coming in and out, they're going to stop and eat at your spot. So you're right. And you're lucky. You have it all. You do. You do. Let's see. Castle Rock, Washington. Closest Jersey Mike's is 25 miles in Ridgefield at Costco Center. Also an In-N-Out Burger. Ooh, I don't have any of those. I'd love that. I love that. Pistons interested in Norman Powell? It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to build around. You don't have a lot of options. You don't have a lot of money left over. But this is, those of us that looked at this deal before it happened, we all saw all of these issues. I'm telling you, Spo's going to have to be the best he's ever been in his life. Okay? Best ever. Best ever. So, Pallel is a dog. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You are correct, Lenny. If you watch the show enough, you know Pallel Larson's my guy. That's the one thing that made me super happy about that deal, that my guy stayed. I can deal with, I don't like seeing Kel'el Ware go, but I get it, dude. You got to acquire Giannis, so you're going to have to give up stuff. Because I think Kel'el Ware does have like the skill set that you need in today's NBA, because he's a big that can shoot. We collect bigs that can't shoot. It's like, I don't get that. But yeah. And Larson was the other guy. Larson, I was so happy that he stayed. Really, really happy that he stayed. So I'm with you there, Lenny. Definitely. All right. Cash App or Venmo. at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Make sure you can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. And we appreciate it as always. Thank you for supporting our show and our sponsors. That's the reason why we've been here for 7 years, and we appreciate all of you immensely. Thank you so much. By the way, our friends at Subaru Pembroke Pines, mention my name. You will get $500 off there at 16100 Pines Boulevard. They've got the Forester base right now at $228 a month, only 1.99% financing, which is a joke. They've got the Ascent Premium, $258 a month, 1.9% financing. The Outback Premium, $278 a month, 0.9% financing. The Crosstrek, got somebody young starting off driving, $158 a month, 1.9% financing. The Impreza, $168 a month, 2.9% financing. The options are there for you, folks. If you're looking for electric vehicles, they've got them also. The Trail Seeker is one that I am targeting myself, the Uncharted and the Solterra. So if you're looking for electric vehicles, they've got them there. And Subaru batteries go from 10 to 80% in 28 minutes. That's a joke, dude. So if you're looking at the Uncharted, the Trail Seeker, the Solterra, all three beautiful vehicles, tell them that Big O sent you. Go see Eric Stampone. Alan's the GM, and mention my name and get $500 off at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Okay. Let's see. Giannis is way better than Jimmy, and his character is miles away from Jimmy. That's why I believe he will be able to bring some decent players at a cheap price. Okay. We'll see if that happens. He still plays the same amount of games as Jimmy. He still misses 1/4 of the season on average. You need to replace that. That will hurt you in the standings. Those are the facts. Okay? And as you say, just saying. Oh, and by the way, if you keep Powell, he missed a bunch of games. And if you keep Wiggins, he missed a bunch of games. This is going to be a really hard job for Eric Spoelstra. I'm super intrigued by what Eric does because he's the best there is, period. Nobody's better than him on the planet right now in coaching basketball. So that maniac will he'll get the best out of whatever he has. I just don't like what the front office does to him constantly. They don't. But then again, you know what? Maybe he's part of these decisions too, and maybe he goes along with it, or maybe he's also a lead dog in these decisions. I don't know. But either way, he makes it harder on himself, or they make it harder on him. That's what I see, unfortunately. All right. What else do we have going on? I'm pretty much done, folks. If you got anything else, send it in because we're about to wrap it up, folks. I looked at my sheet and I have talked everything out. I got nothing else, honey. I am done. History in the archives. Please don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. You guys can get us over 100 right now. We're at 72. Come on, hit it before you go. All right. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Thank you. Cool says, will Giannis brothers fill up the remaining roster spots? Well, you go all the way to 15, not maybe the top 12, but yeah, you could see 13, 14, and 15, the guys that never dress out. You could see one of the Giannis brothers being there for sure. Like Goran and Zoran, like you said. Yeah, that could happen. Am I going to watch Conor fight? No, I'm not going to watch Conor fight this weekend. I have no interest in that, dude. Zero. So no, I won't. I'll watch World Cup if that's going on instead. That's what I'd rather watch. Yeah, I have no interest in watching Conor at all, dude. Watching, supporting, nothing. It's so bad with me that I enjoyed that he got his ass kicked in Roadhouse. There you go. Okay. Did you see how bad the grass got after the White House fights? How bad our economy is, how bad the reflecting pool is, how bad the White House grounds are, how bad, everything is. Ask the Asian countries who Trump has just absolutely killed with the whole closing of the strait. I mean, what do you want, Frankie? Everything's a mess, dude. But don't worry. In a couple of years, they'll give us another mess from the other side of the party. So the other party will give us like Newsom, and he'll do it for 4 years. So don't worry about him. More bad stuff is coming. Oh, man. Pat says there are truly some awful people out there. The people seem to admire. He is near at the top of my list. Oh, yeah, Conor? Come on, bro. We're talking about a guy that beats old men in bars. Conor McGregor is a piece of shit, dude. Sorry, but that's what I got to be honest. Yeah, there's I don't want anything. I don't want to watch or support or anything. I just wish him the worst. Whoever's fighting against him, Frankie, I hope he beats the crap out of Conor. And if that happens, I'll look for the highlight. That I'll watch. Like what Khabib? Is that the name, Frankie? Khabib? That Khabib put him in his place? That's what there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's my kind of thing right there. I empathize with the coaching staff, Pat trading all to the Bucks, BK to square one for the new recruits. Yeah. Big O victory cigar for group tickets department at the Dolphins are coming through for us this year. Really? Well, of course, because their team sucks and nobody's buying tickets. So they're coming through for you guys. But having said all that, since, we have to take the reality, if there was high demand and they had a really good team, they'd probably be screwing you guys. But since there is no demand for Dolphin tickets, at least they're taking care of the fans. Gotta be honest. Can we confidently agree the Panthers will be the best team? Oh, God, yes. Best team in town, and can't wait for the NHL season, dude. I mean, Bill Zito is – it's what Pat Riley used to be. When he got here in the 90s and the early 2000s, that was Pat Riley, Bill Zito. Now Pat Riley resembles more the end of Don Shula. What can we say? I have to say it, but AOC will be the Democrat for, oh God. The AOC. They would do something stupid like that. Yeah. I mean, AOC for me, great candidate for OnlyFans. With that, I tell you, see you tomorrow at 10.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.